What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. We've got ourselves a game status report today. We now have some idea of what kind of team we're going to have this week against the Steelers, which is always nice. It's not as bad as it could have been, but there is definitely some reason for concern. Let's take a look here and try to parse this all out. Carol's made some comments about this report that shed some degree of light on whether or not the question marks are likely to be good ones or bad ones. So let's also, work that into the equation here and try to figure this one out. We've got the latest from Greg Bell of X, and it could have been a lot worse. Like, you take a look at this, your eyes go to the list of players that are out of this game, just plain out, and it's not too bad. It's not really anything alarming. You got Eskridge, he's out, but at this point, I don't even know if he's really hurt so much as he is just being put on ice because we're planning on dumping him in the offseason. So, I mean, it's not like we're going to terribly miss him. Maybe he would have done a good kickoff return that we otherwise wouldn't have, but that's about it. Jason Peters is also out with a foot injury. Carol had commented on that, said it's probably going to take him a couple weeks to get back, so maybe he'll be back for the playoffs, assuming we make it. But he actually has to. We actually have to make the playoffs for that to happen, and then something would have to happen to get him in the game going forward. So Jason Peters as a backup, not a big loss. Frank Clark. I mean, I'm sorry, I gotta ask, what are we doing here? He's out with a not injury related resting player designation. What is this? Have you guys ever seen this before in your life? I've never seen this before. Frank Clark, not injury related, resting player. What are we looking at here? Like is this, what is this, an episode of Black Mirror? I'm so confused. What is he still doing on this team? He didn't even play last week. Yeah, I'm so confused. The significant one, the significant injury here, the significant player that is out would be Jamal Adams, and quite frankly, most of the people in the comment section are probably going to say, hey, we're happy Jamal Adams is out. We think he's a net negative, and I don't necessarily agree, but I also don't think missing him is a big loss or anything like that, and that if we want to really try to make sure that he can give us something in week 18, if that becomes a must-win game or a playoff game, then I'm certainly for it. So that doesn't particularly bother me either. So these injuries, these four players that are listed as out, pretty agreeable, pretty good, not too bad at all. Nobody's listed as doubtful. Good news there. Got some questionable designations, however, so we're going to have to parse through this one by one and try to interpret where we are with these guys. So K9, according to Carol, is a true game time decision. That's a big one. That's not going to be replaced. If we don't have K9, that changes the equation dramatically. So true game time decision for K9, and all I can tell you is if we do not have him, I like Charbonnet and everything, but Walker has become such an important part, such a elite part of this offense the last couple weeks during this little win streak we have, that it's tough to imagine Charbonnet doing even an adequate job replacing him. Like, the stuff Walker has had to do just to get the yards that he has, and I know it's not a crazy number of yards, but the work he's put in has been off the charts. So that would be a big bummer if he can't go, but it sounds like it's a true coin toss right now. Nick Bellore, questionable. I didn't really hear anything about this either way, and he doesn't play enough for it to matter that much. Jordan Brooks, first of all, props to him for making it on the questionable list at all. Like, shout out to him for even getting to this point. Like, Jordan Brooks, I thought for sure was going to miss this game, so the fact that it's even a possibility is impressive. And when Carol was asked about Brooks, he basically said, we'll see. So he didn't rule it out, which is, hey, shout out to Jordan Brooks, man. You heal quick. That's what I'm going to say about that. That's notable, by the way, because Mario Edwards, even though he's listed as questionable, was basically ruled out by Pete. He said Mario Edwards will not play. So that's obviously a chunk of your defensive line depth. Best guess is that Miles Adams gets the call to play a few snaps to replace Mario Edwards, which I guess that's okay. I kind of like Miles Adams. Always kind of been a fan of his, and a passive fan. You know, not a big fan or anything like that. But Mario Edwards, with the knee injury going to be out, doesn't help the rotation, but it'll do. It'll do. So yeah, bummer for Mario Edwards. DK Metcalf, all indications are he's going to play. They listed him as questionable, but it looks like he's going to go. It looks like he's going to suit up for this game. It looks like he is going to play on Sunday. Big news. Need him very badly. Need him doing stuff very badly. So even though there's a possibility of that it goes the other way, Metcalf looks like he'll be back. And Devin Witherspoon looks like he will play as well with the work he was doing in practice today. So very good news there. Looks like we're getting him back. And on the whole, it could have been a lot worse, right? Granted, excuse me, yeah, we do need to get good news about K9, but this is not terrible. All right, now let's take a look at the Steelers side of things. I got this tweet from Brooke Pryor. She's got the latest and greatest here with the practice report. So let's go down the list here. Kenny Pickett doesn't really matter. He's the backup quarterback. The odds of that coming into play are kind of low. And, I mean, if we don't get Kenny Pickett in the event of a Rudolph injury, we would get Mitchell Trubisky. I guess Pickett's better, but not by some dramatic amount. So that's kind of a non-issue at this game in this game for me. Najee Harris going to play. He's off the injured list entirely. He has no game status, so he's fine. Isaiah Sumalo is no game status, so he's going to be good to go, even though he did not practice today. So they've got two big pieces on their offense. But I'll tell you, that defense has some problems. We've got no Minkah Fitzpatrick, one of their best players on defense, one of their key safeties, and no Trenton Thompson, also with a DNP today after actually being a full participant yesterday. So he went very far backwards, and he is not going to be playing in this game. So the safety depth for the Steelers is very thin right now. The safety depth is non-existent. They're putting Patrick Peterson back there, who's played, like, 2 games at safety in his career. So they have big problems at the safety position. And you've got a Landon Roberts linebacker. He is also out. So they've also got some real issues at the linebacker spot, the inside linebacker area, where they've already got, a little bit of a problem there with some of the other guys they don't have, because I think Miles Jack is on IR, I think I saw. Everyone's saying that the Steelers have like backups to backups at inside linebacker right now. So that's something that you should be able to take advantage of as an NFL offense. They're weak in that area. They're weak in that back middle area, the safeties and the linebackers. So they've got their own set of problems to work with, and by the time we get to game day, their injury situation might be more alarming than ours, because the areas in which they're missing players is actually very significant, and it's piling on top of the problems they already have. So that's the injury report for this week for both teams. Again, not terrible for Seattle, although we do need to get some good news on Sunday about K9, game time decision. I think we need them. Other than that, though, I feel like even though I don't think Brooks will play, we're not doing as nearly as badly as it looked like we were going to do in this game. All right, I will see you guys later. Go Hawks. Might do another video later today. We'll be streaming on Twitch at some point in the near future. Don't know what I'll be doing tonight, but I'll be doing something. So hope to see you guys there. Go Hawks.